Yo, in today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and strange TikToks that will make you question reality. How though? How can you lose 14,000 reels of tape just lost?
So, you know, if you're going to write the script, we're following it at the moment.
Absolutely. Well, we had only been told of a fourth vote.
Y'all heard what he said. If you're going to write the script, we're following it.
I'm sitting here minding my business. I turn on the 5 Suns, the sacred history of Mexico, because it's shown up on my feed on YouTube. Okay? I'm listening to how the elements were trying to create this, this place, and they were failing, right? But I wasn't really super engaged until I heard this one.
Well, it is the home of the mother of creation and the giver of life, our home.
Now they must create the earth.
The earth is to be the first level of the underworld.
It is the place of eternal transformation.
Means Quetzalcoatl. You endured hardships when you came to this land, from your precious mountains, from your precious waters. I marvel at you. I admire you. Am I to believe that you came to visit?
The new earth is hungry. We came for the bones of our ancestors. We must create new humans again.
New humans? You already made and destroyed 4 creations.
Yo, anybody else seen that? The 5 Suns? I gotta watch that now. Because we living in the underworld, yo. The signs have been there the whole time. Yo, dang! How did that happen?
This is what I'm going to explain to you about having the eyes to see. What do you see there? I see 2 guard towers with 2 very large platforms that you could put signal fires on. That is exactly what I see right there.
Yeah, he's onto something with that
Officer
one.
hopped up on energy drinks out here yelling at me, saying he gonna arrest me. Don't open the door. Don't listen to them. I'm not disturbing the peace. The noise ordinance is from 6 a.m. in the morning. It's past 6 a.m., so the noise ordinance does not count. It's from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, and I got you on camera too. I'll make sure I let everybody know. And that's fine. I'm so glad you didn't turn your body camera off, because y'all some fucking liars. I wonder if he the one that's hopped up on energy drinks.
There's a video of a...
If you think about it, right, a lot of those guys probably be some jacked up, like, gym bros. You know? I'm going to join the force so I can beat somebody up, take some of this energy out on somebody. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about who you hire out here, man. Anybody can fake an interview. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Dean Kane, sir.
Zip line. Rob, if you want to show that zip line of a man that's zip lining, this video is being shown everywhere. First time you see this video, is like, what's the big deal with the zip line? This man is zip lining. He's happy. We've all done this before. You and I, most of us have done it, where you're recording it. And you want to post it on social. Rob, you can lower the audio just a little bit so we can hear the shooting. He's going, minding his own business, not knowing at the bottom there are terrorist attacks.
Right now.
They are shooting right now while he's going through this.
What?
Not at him. You will see a man drop in the back right there. They're running around. They're scared. They're hearing all the stuff that's going on, the commotion.
Look at this guy on the left.
They're worried. There's one person on the bottom there. Boom.
And he has no idea. He's just
He has no idea. He can't hear anything.
no idea
Can't
what's
hear
going
anything.
on.
Wait a minute. I got a theory here. They say he had no idea. But what if he was the one in charge? You know? Like, that's some crazy psycho stuff if that's the case.
Have you guys heard about the Mountain Dew conspiracy?
No.
There's always been that conspiracy of like Mountain Dew flavors like coincide with like big major events. They had something with Maui that when the Maui fires happened, right? Last year they brought back the pitch black, and then we had like the biggest IT blackout of all time.
Oh my gosh.
And there was another one, the tropical flavor, and it was like the tropical swirl. And then we had all those crazy hurricanes.
Yeah.
Code Red.
I can't remember if there was, but then they brought a Star Spangled Splash flavor for 4th of July last year. And then, no joke, later on, that bridge collapsed. But guess what the name of the bridge was called? Francis Scott Key. The guy who wrote the Star Spangled Banner. Isn't that wild? And so they just released a new flavor. Purple Thunder is the new flavor.
Purple Thunder.
Purple.
I do have the Code Red conspiracy. Code Red was only a few months before 9/11 when it debuted.
No way.
That's insane.
Kind of crazy.
Mountain Dew is owned by Pepsi, correct?
Yes.
And we do know that Pepsi worked with the CIA that one time to overthrow the Chilean government.
Yeah.
Does the CIA work with Pepsi?
I mean, I think it's confirmed at this point. I don't think we have to even.
The CIA works with almost probably like every big name company you can think of. Why wouldn't they? They're the CIA. But what is up with this Purple Thunder though? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to see no Purple Thunder. Like, what's going to happen next?
Purple rain.
It is underneath. It is, you see? Wow.
Oh snap! So Orca.
She approaches. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's huge. Please don't.
Just trying to mess them up.
Yes, she's bumping us. She's trying to hit us with the side.
Watching porn.
Orcas out here fighting back. Are they not? Like, it's been some crazy orca stories lately. And I wonder what the reason is. You know, there's Aquaman in there and he's like, go fight back.
AR-15 on the highway patrol.
What? Oh, wow. He just pulled
Driver
off.
pulled over for speeding, pointed a rifle at a highway patrol officer yesterday. CHP says it happened just north of Reading on I-5. An officer stopped a vehicle on the Mountain Gate off-ramp. The driver, they say, got out of the car, pointed the AR-style assault rifle toward the officer. Officials say the suspect re-entered his vehicle and then they started pursuit. Vehicle continued southbound, driving at varying speeds before exiting the freeway at Oasis, continuing for about 2 miles west before stopping near Vigil Court. The suspect taken into custody, booked into Shasta County Jail.
What the f***?
Now, by no means am I advocating for police brutality. But if there was ever a time that an officer should fear for his life, it's when a white man yielding an AR-15, the sentence alone shivered me timbers. I'm chills just thinking about white man, AR-15, walking towards the police car, yelling commands. It seems like he's yelling commands. But this young brother here, murdered as he was running away with the weapon. You ain't saying firearm, as they say. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Hey. Free Rodney Hennon Sr. Chin up, chest out. R.I.P. Rodney Hennon Jr.
Facts, because it must be nice to have that type of privilege. That's crazy. Could never be nobody else. Like, walking up with the gun, finger on the trigger, and they're just like, oh, we're sorry, sir. Don't shoot us. But if it's somebody else, they're, pow. Oh, wait, they didn't have a gun. Put one on them.
Okay, so listen, I know y'all thought that she was the plaintiff, but she's actually the defendant. She's actually the one that installed the locks in the young lady's hair that had the shrinkage. But listen to this, listen.
Is that true or not true? Let me show it to you.
Can I show you my natural?
First, I want you to answer my question.
Okay.
Is that an accurate picture of you when you were there when you came in?
That's my hair in its natural state, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's her hair.
Okay, and you're saying that to me because what?
Because when my hair is wet, it's texture, it's curly, so it's shrinkage in my hair. So that's why I wanted to show you my hair in its natural state. The pictures I sent her before the day of my appointment, because I had to wash my hair because it was flat ironed.
Do you have a picture of your hair to the middle of your back? Because
Yes,
I have a picture of your hair not to the middle of the back.
I sent it to you.
No, right, but how do I know when that picture was taken?
Okay, I can show you on my phone then, because it has the dates in my phone.
And those aren't the extensions that you talked about?
No.
Okay, well, how do I know that when I know that you had, because you had talked about prior extensions?
I had a sew-in.
Because that's her hair.
You can see you can see because I was flat ironing my hair, so you can see my parts. You can see my natural hair.
She don't know what natural hair looks like.
Exactly.
It's not sewn in.
Yo, they'll never understand.
My dad was an incubator baby in Coney Island. He was on display. They had just invented the incubator. He was.
You could literally tell me anything. I'd believe.
No, it's true.
He's telling you it's true.
Your mom.
He telling you it's true. We've talked about these incubator babies quite often. You know, the Cabbage Patch Kids. Yo, go over to Mind Unveiled. Go to their page and see about the incubator babies. And you'll know that he's telling the truth. You can find there's a lot of older people, right, who don't know their lineage. They're like, oh, I was an orphan. I was an orphan. My grandmother was an orphan. There's a lot of them that say this.
Was an orphan. Your dad left home.
He was an orphan also.
See?
What did each of them tell you about their situations growing up?
They didn't talk much about it, but there was a toughness. Both growing up in orphanages, or in my father's case, really just running from apartment to apartment.
And why?
Because they had no money. So it was a bunch of kids. It was a home where they were not able to live for some bad reasons. And so they decided to set off on their own as a group of brothers and sisters. So it was a lot of street hustling, of selling whatever you could get on the street, and usually they could not make the rent, and after 3 months they would just bolt and get another place. And so there was that toughness. I was lucky to be around that. Usually if the parents have a tough life, the kid's life is too easy and they screw up, and then their kids get tough, hopefully. You know, it tends to be an up and down cycle of even in culture, you know. We're in the soft period now.
Well, and so it wasn't like
You
that.
ain't lying
for you.
about
So
that
you've
part.
spoken about how he never, correct me if I'm wrong, like never hugged you, never told you he loved you, never threw a ball with you.
No, but there was a lot of love in my house.
Well, and you said like you and your sister and your parents were almost like roommates in a way, and you called it complete neglect, but in like the best way possible.
Benign neglect is how I was raised. But my parents were very loving, but parents in the 50s and 60s did not express it outwardly like parents do today. There was no emotional hole in my life that people love to say, comedians, that's why they do this. They're filling some emotional need. I have always rejected that very strongly.
What was the hardest part of that kind of self-reliance?
There's nothing hard about it. I mean, I knew I wanted to live a difficult life. I craved a difficult circumstance.
Why?
I don't know, but I think you just know it sometimes when you're a kid. I don't want to do anything easy. And that's why when I found stand-up and I became that thing, I was so...
Yo, incubator babies, Cabbage Patch babies, it's a real thing. I think the last guy I seen say that, it might have been like Ric Flair. Y'all know who Ric Flair is? He said that his parents, I believe his parents or grandparents were orphans, right? So it's like, you get all these celebrities, these older celebrities who say this, it starts to make you question things.
Now, if that were true, I could take that guy right there, my total station, and measure flatness. Would you agree? So about 20 miles out, we've got the peak of this mountain. It's called Rincon Peak, and it has an elevation of 8,841 feet above sea level. And I currently have an elevation of 2438, we'll just call it a 90. So this is how we would actually measure whether or not the Earth is flat or if it's in fact curved. So I've got this datum down here. This datum, that's my reference. Everything's measured above that. That's sea level. Right here, I've got that elevation of 2438.90 plus 5 foot of the instrument. I just got a measurement of 25 miles to the peak over here. That peak is 8,481 feet above sea level. So what we're going to do is we're going to add these two together, and we're going to subtract this overall height from this overall height, and that creates this tangent plane here. You follow so far? Okay, so we're going to take 2438.90, 2438.90. We're going to add our 5 feet. Now we're going to subtract that from 8481. 8481. All right, so now we've got the tangent plane and this side of the triangle. We've got 6037.10. We'll just do everything to the nearest tenth of a foot. Now we got to get this angle right here to see what angle we'd have to turn from eye level here to the top of that peak. And we're going to do that by using a little bit of trigonometry. Once we have that angle, we want to know what the zenith angle to this peak is. So like we're swinging down this way to see what the zenith angle is. So we'll just take whatever this is and subtract it from 90, and that would be the measurement on a flat earth. Pretty simple. I'm going to take just right angle trig here. Here's my opposite side of the triangle. Here's my run of the triangle in feet. I'm just going to hit divide. I'm going to go arctan. There's my angle, about 2.62 degrees. Now I'm going to subtract that from 90 and turn that into degrees, minutes, and seconds. So that angle should be an 87, looks like 87 degrees, 22 minutes, and right around 53 arc seconds. So that would be the zenith angle for the flat earth prediction, which would be here. But if the earth is curving away from me, if the datum I'm using is curving away from this tangent plane, then that means this mountain would be lower. That means we have another opposite side of the triangle here that we can use to figure out where this should be predicted on a globe and then measure it to see if it matches. I'm currently taking bets on this, so you let me know. I'm set up, ready to roll.
So, what do you guys think? Flat or round? Curved. They say curved now. Curved earth. Curves. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's okay. I'm not going to do anything. What my problem is your dog has been off the leash a couple times.
Okay.
It's a fact. It's
When?
not, is it? When?
Yeah.
Do you not remember that talk that we had when I was by my back little fence area?
No,
You don't
I
remember
remember
that?
having any talk with you.
You don't. So you weren't smoking a cigarette, hanging out. My girlfriend was just like making stuff up.
Making
Like we
what
didn't see
stuff
you.
up? I haven't had any conversation with anybody here, especially you. Especially you.
Honestly, dude, I don't think you should be here. Like, are you working?
What does that mean?
Like, it means like you're not following the rules. You haven't been following the rules, and you're acting like you don't know what's going on.
What unit do you live in? I'm in 84. What unit do you live in?
I'm right there in the first floor.
In
70.
my building?
Yeah.
In
yeah,
my building?
Yeah.
Okay, 70?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere either.
That's totally cool.
I don't know where you
even
want
know
this
who
to
you
go.
are.
But
I don't even know who you are.
You do, because you've been walking by my back door for a hot minute.
I
And
walk
let
my
me
dog.
tell you,
I walk my dog.
I get that,
Okay.
right? But you live in the front part, right?
Sure.
So you could walk.
I don't live in the
that
front
way.
part. I live in the back.
Yeah. Oh, so who's the other guy that's on the bottom? That's on top of me then? Is he just like a random character?
What floor do you live on? I feel like you're getting me confused with somebody else. What floor do you live on?
Bro.
I'm in the 3rd floor.
I've seen you.
Okay, what floor do you live on?
The first fucking floor.
Okay, I don't live above you. Does that make sense? Because I'm on the 3rd floor. You better calm your fucking ass down, dog, before we take this somewhere where it don't need to go. On me. On me. On me. So, you want to continue running your fucking mouth?
Hey, Noel. Noel, come here. Noel. You're about to go to jail right now.
That's cool. That's cool.
Noel. This is this guy right here. He's getting all crazy. He likes to like.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah, you just said we were gonna go.
I told you to calm your ass down. Is what I did.
Well, obviously
Or-
I'm upset.
or
but
what?
You know what? I think it's time that you go to jail for threatening somebody.
Well, let's go to the complex and let's talk about this in the office. Yeah. Let's go to the office and talk about this issue.
No.
Yeah, that sounds like the reasonable thing instead of you just yelling at me, because I don't know who the fuck you are, homie. But if you want to get to know me, you can get to know me. I have no problem with that.
I was trying to talk to you.
Man,
You
go
raise your
somewhere.
voice. I'm not going to be talked to like that. Simply, you're not my daddy.
Okay, I apologize.
Cool, let's go fix this in the office.
Are you on the lease?
What is wrong with this dude? He's like, how are you here? How do you live here when I live here? This can't be possible. Who are you? You're going to jail, black guy. That's literally what he's saying.
Business or concern?
Why should you be here if you're not on the lease?
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Because I pay rent here. And I'm not a bum. I got 3 vehicles in here. How many you got? How many you got? Oh, okay.
One.
But I'm a bum? That's a $30,000 bike you put that fucking gay ass note on. I hope you know that. Don't touch my shit again.
You're gonna go to jail.
That's
I
cool.
hope you know that.
That's cool.
Okay, well, you're not gonna live here anymore either.
That's fine with me. That's fine with me. I highly doubt it's me that's going to jail. You're the one harassing me,
This is the guy.
leaving threatening notes. We need to call the police.
Okay, yeah, we need to call 911 because I don't
Thank
want
you.
to get involved.
You can record all you want. You know you're in the wrong. You've had your dog off the leash.
It's okay.
I'm calling from Desert Shadows Apartments.
Look at him, y'all. Just look at him.
Why wouldn't you stop me beforehand? Like, talk to me like a man instead of leaving notes. Like, is that what men do? We leave notes to each other?
Aggressively engaging in here in the leasing office.
I don't even know who you are. You tell me to come knock on your door. How am I going to know who you are? How can I come knock on your door?
You been on my back door.
That doesn't have nothing to do with
You've been
nothing.
by my back door a couple times. You don't know who I am.
Immediately.
Immediately, please. Thank you. Well,
I'm going to go back to my apartment.
American and white.
And then they can just call me. It's me, dog. I don't even know what this man's talking about.
He don't like you, dude, so I don't know why you're talking to him.
Who don't like me?
No one here likes you. I don't know why you're trying to act cool.
I don't know nobody here.
No one here likes you,
Is it
bro.
because I'm black? Is that the issue?
No, well, first off, it's not because you're black, okay?
Is it because I'm more money than you?
No,
Because I'm not a
it's
bum like
because
you?
you're rude.
Oh.
You're rude.
I've never had a conversation with you. How could I be rude?
That.
They just walked in here and are just yelling at each other.
Okay. All right, dude.
My name is Sonia.
This guy's slow.
Right?
Huh?
You must not know the law. Did you leave that note on my bike?
Yeah, I did.
Who? Did you leave that note on the apartment?
How many times have you walked by my back door?
I
Did you
live
get, am I
here.
supposed to like
I
be
live
scared
here.
or like, I mean.
Why would you be scared? I live here and walk my dog.
Well, off the leash. We're gonna lie. Okay. Bro,
Even if I
you
did walk my dog,
know you're lying.
Even if I did walk my dog off the leash, how would that make you want to hurt
I
me?
can't even leave
How would that
my
make you
dog
want to
on the
hurt me?
back porch because she's scared of your dog. So you want to walk your dog by my
That
back
sounds
porch?
like your problem, not mine.
Huh?
That sounds like your problem, not mine.
You sure?
Absolutely.
You sure? Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, nah, for real, because he's like, I can't leave my dog off the leash because your dog's off the leash.
I'm going home. I'm going home.
Yeah, record all of it.
I don't know, big dog. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out
You
for
have a good
somebody
day.
like
We'll talk
that.
soon.
Because he probably does have the pew pew on him and will use it, thinking he's going to get away.
What the fuck was that? Fucking weird ass people. I knew Shorty said it was a weird ass white man. I was like, I hope it's not a racial thing. Apparently it is. Apparently I don't belong in these apartments. Apparently I don't make enough money. Though that's my Harley over there. That's my Dodge Ram truck over there, and that's my Toyota over there. But I don't belong here. Yeah, he didn't want me to put my stuff down.
He was scared.
I'm not one for play. I don't want to argue. Either you run it or shut the fuck up.
What was up with Buddy, man? Is that what's going on in the world, y'all? We see it all the time, both men and women. Don't like it just for one reason. And they think they in the right. Because why would they not, right?
They asked him, do you need religion to get to God? Reminder, he's a preacher.
So I don't want to talk about that. Next question. What role does religion play in your life? And do you have to have religion to live life? Our religion fake. Religion was created for control. Religion was created to kind of like block your religion was created to block you and God. Because what do you need a man for to go to something that's inside of you for? I agree with that. Jesus came and Jesus said, don't look down, look within for God. Right? So if everybody in this church with all these buildings, Jesus said I'll knock it down in 3 days. Right? So if you got a church right now, knock that thing down. Burn it to the ground. Fuck the church.
You know what? It's going to be people like these guys. I'm just being honest. The Bible said last days there's going to be a seducing spirit, and Sophia's seducing spirit. And it's going to convince you to try to make you, everybody that don't want to accept Jesus as the Lord and Savior, or believe they died. I accept Jesus.
And that seductive spirit and the end times he's talking about, I feel like have already been here. You know? Like, we still get seduced into different things, right? Because, okay, we have a lot of people who are in these churches, right? All across the world. These grand cathedral churches, right? Which are really castles. That's not even the original church. That was not even the church that you're supposed to come praise your God at. They just came in and started using that building most of the time. Now, yeah, you got a lot of smaller churches nowadays, but I'm talking about these big ones, the original ones, right? So like he's saying, I'm not saying go burn them buildings down at all, but maybe things or the idea needs to be burned and figured out.
Believe they died for their sins. Jesus never died. Okay, listen. The reading that you do, because God don't believe that the devil don't mind you believing in one God. He don't mind you believing there's a God. It is. He just don't want you to accept the atonement for your sins, because he knows that matter what man accomplished down here, they have to stand before God and account for everything that we did down here. And so, you can't change people. One of the things that Satan don't want you to believe, he'll use any platform, he'll use anybody to try to convince you that Jesus is not Lord. But the Bible says every knee gonna bow, every tongue gonna confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Even if you believe it or not, you might not confess it in this life, but when you stand before the Creator, you're gonna have to confess your deeds. And so let me tell you why. He will. And then he said he don't believe the other man stand between them and God. Well, first of all, you got to understand what Jesus represents, what he came for, what is his purpose. People preaching about money and cause, but they don't even understand the atonement of sin. They don't even understand why they say we've been bought with a price. They don't even understand when the Bible said in the beginning with the word with God, word was God, all things was made. Right. Look, everything was made in him with the light of man. Look, man, look, the church full of bullshit. The church full of this year. So what is the light? He just said a while ago that we are the light. He got some sense about that, but she sees the true light. And so he's the light that light every man to the world. Let me say, they don't believe that. Jesus came here. They asked Jesus. They said, Jesus, you or you God? Jesus told them I wasn't God. They never said every time somebody die, people on earth say they God and say you gotta get through him through me. All this. Everybody that's gonna say they gonna get through God through Jesus gonna be stuck on earth. So Jesus can't free you, nigga. How you gonna get to him? Stop playing with me. I am. Jesus came with the knowledge and the understanding. So how do you get to him? That's all he came with. Okay, he came with. He didn't come with nothing else. Jesus came with the sword. Okay, so where'd he come from? To cut the fake reality. Okay. This illusion. So now, please just admit There's a man that stand between man and God. He just gave you Jesus' son. He just admitted. He contradicted himself. So he just admitted that Jesus is the one that stand between man and God. Jesus brought the word, so did Buddha. So did everybody else. So did me. I brought the word. I'm a prophet too. He's a prophet too.
There's so many different ideas when it comes to that, right? And he's saying that he's the man in between man and God, right? But like 607 Onk said, he brought the knowledge, right? He was just the one who had the knowledge to try to wake his people up. He woke up from things. He's like, let me wake my people up, just like other people, like he said, just like Buddha. So yeah, man, that's one of those debates that can go on and on and on and on and on and on because it's a strong belief system and it's hard for anyone to think other than what they believe. But yeah, guys, these are some of the most creepy and strange TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.